Every car that rolls into your shop is more than just repair, it's someone's lifeline. Now, what if every repair could also be a lifeline for someone in need? When you join Community Pay It Forward, a portion of each job can help a family, veteran, or nonprofit without costing your customer anything extra. With the Shop, Click, and Pick program, your shop keeps cars running. Let's keep communities running too. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Does this sound like your life? Scattered, jumping between tasks but never finishing. Saying yes when you want to say no. Avoiding hard conversations and holding it all in. It's time to stop overcomplicating life and turning it into your advantage. Experience T Now, a monthly membership designed to help parents, professionals, and dreamers like you conquer self sabotage and thrive. Save your spot today. Get early access, a special gift, and start transforming your life. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Say goodbye to just clicking and picking. The future of giving begins now with the new Come Together movement. Download our free Community Pay It Forward app. It's your gateway to shopping with purpose and supporting the causes that you care about. You tell us who you'd like to support by selecting your mission. Whether it's helping veterans, feeding families, or supporting local schools, your purchases help fund real change. Shop like you normally do. No extra steps, no added costs. Just make your everyday spending count by choosing one of our partner businesses. Every purchase you make turns into real support. A percentage goes directly to your selected cause. It's automatic, it's effortless, and it's powerful. You're not just a customer, you're a partner in making a difference. Our app makes it easy for you to track your impact and share it with all of your friends. So why just shop when you can shop with a purpose? Download, select Shop and Support because your choices matter. When you shop with the Community Pay It Forward partners, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her life, left at night, stepping out of her fear. Bring me home, out alone.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. And I've got a little bit of news for you. I'm not really here. This is all an illusion. Actually, you know what? I'm getting ready to go out with my wife right now. It is our third anniversary. I want to thank everybody who sent us messages today. It's greatly appreciated. We both love and honor you all, and we thank you. Three amazing years. So it's been a journey so far. I've got to experience things that I would have never experienced without her. So that is, in my mind, the absolute definition of success. I now have 7 wonderful grandkids, and that it's amazing. When I get to see them, and when one of my little girls gives me a gift of a sticky painted unicorn that she spent the night painting, little Kens. uh it really makes you think, really makes you wonder. But Adrian and I knew each other when we were kids, when we were mere kids. We've got grandkids that are at the same age as when we first met each other, which is just, in my mind, flat out ridiculous. So, but yeah, so I am recording this show so we can go out and we can do our thing and celebrate our anniversary and be together on this night. But tonight we do have a show, and I want to bring these interviews to you. One of them, of course, is conducted by me, with 2 wonderful people, Ernalita de Camac, de, oh, I'm gonna butcher this, da, Dacumus, Dacumus, and Steve Steele. Ernalita, Ernie, sweetie, Steve Steele. Easy to say. Just saying. No, I'm joking. Um, and they invited me to come on their show, The Leader's Edge, on to their radio show. It was so much fun. It you know I don't know how many of you who have been on different podcasts or radio shows or something like that, but there's times when you get on to a show and things seem a little disjointed. Right now, uh that's not the way this show was. This show was very, very structured, but it didn't feel like it was regimented. Okay. It felt comfortable and it felt great. So check out The Leader's Edge. It's a wonderful show. And it was a lot of fun. Then after that, we are going to bring you the recording of this week's uh, Alan Holmes show, The Master Connectors Corner. So we do have a lot of a busy show, and I would appreciate if you would like, share, subscribe, get us out there to all of your friends. I would love to see more people joining the channels and get our word out there a little bit more. We can do a little bit more with a little bit more. Let's put it that way. I would like to also ask you to please support us and volunteer by using the QR code up in the corner. You can become a producer of this show. You can become a volunteer of any of our programs. You can really help us make a difference in a world that needs people making differences. So I ask you to please scan the code, donate what you can, time, volunteering, whatever you got. We need your help, and anything and everything is much appreciated. One more thing, we should have the app within the next 10 days. So we're excited about that for Android only. We're still working on Apple. Apple's going to take a little more time, but for the next within the next 10 days for Android, the app should be out and ready to go. So we will let you know next week exactly when and where you can download it. I'm looking forward to that. And I want to thank Mike and all of his team from ASU for all the hard work they did. It's finally time. So we're going to get that done. But right now, I am proud to bring you my interview with Ernie and Steve from the Leader's Edge podcast. I had the wonderful honor to be on their podcast, and now they actually TV show or radio show, right? I
Radio
mean,
show.
it was.
Yeah.
I went, and at the end of this, I asked them one simple question: when is this going to play? And they were like, "It was live," and I was like, "Oh, well, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have made a mess of myself."
You were
So
actually great, Zach. You were actually
yeah,
great.
but I am thrilled to introduce everybody in the community impact world to Ernie and Steve from the Leader's Edge. How are you two doing?
Doing great, Zach. Partner, how are you doing?
I'm awesome, partner. I get to ask you that question every time we're on the show. How you doing, partner? We're doing great. We had an awesome day today. We have an awesome thing going, and we're just so excited about where the Leader's Edge has been and where it's going, and the opportunities that's coming next. This is amazing. So yeah.
Steve, why don't you tell me a little bit about what is the Leader's Edge podcast? What is the show? Tell us what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and Ernie, feel free to chime in whenever you want, Ernst. The Leader's Edge is a international radio talk show. And we're a little different from a podcast, whereas we have commercial breaks and real-time radio live. So a lot of times their podcasts are they're recorded and then they don't have any breaks in them. But we actually do have commercial breaks, and we have two of them per show. And it gives us time to reconnect with the guests in those 2 minutes that we're offline. But it's an international radio talk show. We are right now we have over 40 countries that we're in internationally. And so it's been a wonderful opportunity to really share about leadership and personal growth. And to be honest with you, the Leader's Edge came to being from, it didn't really start at the Leader's Edge. It didn't start with a radio show. It started something back. And I'll let Ernie kind of talk a little bit about that. But the Leader's Edge is uh, a show that we have guests on that come in and share about leadership and share about personal growth opportunities that they've had in their life. Or oftentimes it might be a person who has a book they've written and they share with us about the leadership parts about their book and how they wrote the book. Oftentimes it's people who've had traumas in their life and how they've personally grown through those traumas. We actually have a show coming up in September where we're going to have a guest who was in the Columbine shooting back in 1997. So she was a student there at the time and witnessed it all and was right in the big middle of it. So just things like that that's going to help us help people add value to their lives so that you know it's a show that's really relatable because we're able to take subject matter and translate that into people matter. People do matter, and they do. And so it is something that we're very proud of. People relate to it. They get tools that they can take back from the show and learn from the show and apply those tools to life and can actually make changes. So that's basically what the Leader's Edge is.
You know that, and Ernie, I'm going to get to you in a second, but your future guest, that is definitely a show I'm going to listen to because I am less than an hour away from Columbine,
Mm.
and I remember that day. I remember that day every day.
Oh yeah.
And it was the start of something that unfortunately it was the start of something that's been going on now at a
Yes.
ridiculous pace. And you know, it started a lot of tragedy, but there is a lot of success that came out of that because
Yes.
you watched a community come together and you watched a community come around each other and make sure that everybody was taken care of. Here in Colorado, you watched a state that closed itself together and made sure that people were okay. And we all hugged our kids a little bit tighter that night. We all hugged each other a little bit tighter that night. I remember I was the owner of a restaurant at that time, and I remember walking down and watching a community during a moment of silence, just watching the tears in eyes of people who were there to watch a heavy metal show. I mean, it was so it really touched a community. And
Mm,
ironically, it's something that we're seeing right now because we just lost a patriarch in the music world with Ozzy Osbourne, and you're able to watch people, Steve and Ernie, come together no matter which side of the aisle they're on right now, and talk about the importance of this, of what he did to them. And it doesn't even matter if they listen to that kind of music. Maybe it's somebody who just knows him from his TV shows, or maybe it was their father who listened to the music and they grew up listening to it. So, and I think what you were saying is so important because we're realizing, Ernie, we can still do this because
mhm.
there are these things that we come together, but we just need to stop doing it around tragedy and we need to do it around everyday life.
Yeah, I do agree with that, Zach. And it's the matter of asking the question, how do you get from the trauma that you experience in such event and then continue living life?
Yes, that's right,
That's
Ernie.
Right.
and helping others through this because and there there are going to be people who are going to struggle with it, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we've all had our stories and we've all got our weaknesses, and allowing our weaknesses to take in, or not our weaknesses, but our vulnerabilities to
Yes.
take and support other people,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
sharing that. What on my episode, we use never shut up, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
something that,
Yeah, I love that. I love that
you
episode.
know and that's truly what we need to do. Ernie, what was the tell us the story, tell us the start of the show. How did it start? Who came to
Mhm.
who? And how did this all begin?
Yeah.
The Leader's Edge was not the Leader's Edge when it first started. Steve and I met at a conference. It's an international Maxwell conference that we do have twice a year in Florida, and that's how we met. Not realizing that that meeting will be the birth of the Leader's Edge. So after the event itself, Steve and I connected with other friends that we, you know, gathered and acquired during that conference. And him and I had done masterminds together. So during a mastermind, as we conclude that mastermind, Steve had this crazy idea that he wants to start a webinar. Now, when you're given an idea, you obviously don't know how to do it, right? It's an idea. Most of the time, you don't know how to get it done. So I brushed it off. I thought it was a joke at first. And then the second time he mentioned it, I said, okay, well, probably he's serious. And the question is, do we know how to do a webinar? And we were both unaware of how to do it. So we decided to meet about it, build a skeleton, not knowing the whole entire logistics of how the webinar will be built and conducted. But we did it. And within Jan I believe it's January 19th of 2024, 2023 was
I
when we
agree.
launched the webinar. And then from that, we did it every other Thursday. After two episodes, Steve Steele received a phone call
Hmm.
from a network, which is Voice America, the network that we use today for the radio show and partner. I believe that's your story to tell.
Yeah, I blew that off too. I blew off the telephone calls. I didn't know who it was, so I didn't answer the phone. And so I went back and checked my messages, and it was a message from a lady that was from Voice America, business network, and she said, "Hi, my name is Casey Trump. I am a uh, a production director here at the Voice America uh, Business Network, and I'd like to know if you'd be interested in doing a radio show." And I'm like, I didn't never done a radio show before, and I'm not a radio disc jockey, so I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of like, I don't know. So I kind of passed the idea off to Ernie, and she was like, "Oh, we should check it out. We should listen to it. It never hurts to get information, right?" So I called
Mhm.
her back and I talked to her, and boy, she lit my fire. I mean, what she had to say was exciting. And I got back with Ernie. I said, "Ernie, we need to talk to this lady." So Ernie got on a call with her. I got on a call with her, and we decided that we would try to attempt this thing. We had no clue, Zach, the work behind it. No clue at all what we were facing. I mean, we knew we had put a webinar together, and we were still working on parts of it as well.
Yeah.
And what she had told me was that they went online. She had someone who was perusing Facebook and saw our content and really liked our content. And they didn't have anything like that. They had a lot of business shows. They have over 300 shows on the network. They had a lot of business shows, financial shows, money shows, but nothing on personal growth, and certainly nothing with John Maxwell. So we lit their fire when they saw, and they loved the dynamics of the show. Ernie, is about half my age. She's like a daughter to me, and she's really into development, personal growth development. I'm really into the leadership development part of it. So we have the age thing going for us. We can reach a lot of people with the age thing. There's a lot of gaps in a big gap between we reach a lot of people there. She's female. I'm male. She's Filipina. I'm a Texas boy from South Texas, and so I'm like, okay. Uh, they liked it. They just liked the whole dynamics of it, and so we thought, okay, well, we're going to try this. Well, we're still trying to piece together the webinar a little bit, and but we started into this thing, and we had no clue the work that was going to be involved in that. A lot of late nights, Zach. Naming the show was difficult in itself. It was,
I think that was the most difficult.
yeah, and we had more people involved in that, right? We had other people, or some of our uh, team was involved in helping us figure out how to name the show. And so um, we love the personal growth. I'm a firm believer, and Ernie is too, that your leadership growth caps off if you don't grow personally. And you have to grow personally for you to grow in leadership as well. So that's the edge to leadership, is the personal growth. So we kind of put two and two together. One morning I was thinking about this, and the leader's edge just popped out. This sounded natural. Presented it to Ernie. She loved it. The team loved it. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is really, we had Carolina involved in it. We had a few other people involved in it. We were all looking at names, trying to figure out what it would be. And it was, the leader's edge just popped out. Just popped out. It was the thing. We knew it. That was what we were going to do. But the work behind it, Ernie, I'll let you go from there.
I think we don't want to give them everything. I'll wait for Zach to ask the next question.
Okay.
So, and once again, we're with Ernie and Steve from the Leaders Edge radio show. My biggest question from what you were saying is that you two had a chance to build the skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do it any other way now, could you? Because you were given that. You weren't given something to go by.
No.
So you were able to birth this in your own way, in your own image. And it made it so much easier. So if somebody came to you and handed you a template, you would look at that template like, I can't do it this way anymore. Can't, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the way how we do things in life, and it can be outside of the leader's edge. The way we do things in life is what we're meant to go through in order to grow as an individual. And with the leader's edge, Steve and I actually asked the question, what do we need to do in order to succeed in this being a radio show host? And all they told us to do is, you just have to show up.
Yeah.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
You just have to show up every week on your show. So it's the same exact thing. So the teaching that we had then was whatever that is, the burning desire that you have, whatever that is, work your way into that. You're not going to know what the 10th step is without going through the first step, right? So
Yeah.
work one step at a time, but
Mhm.
make sure that you're getting closer to the goal. And that's what we
Mhm.
did. And that's consistently showing up, learning as we go. And as we built the Leader's Edge and also building the webinar, which is our baby, our initial baby, we had to make a decision too that are we going to continue the webinar?
Mhm.
And it's finding that common ground and the values between the two of us. Steve and I was able to continue with both the webinar and the radio show because him and I have the same vision, and it's just to pour value into others. That's it.
Yep. That's
So
it.
we still do the webinar and the radio show today.
Mhm.
Steve, is there an end goal, or is it ever growing to where you don't ever want to see an end goal because you just want to see success no matter what that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because let's be honest, your end goal now is a lot different from your end goal in your 20s. And if you would have saw an end goal, and if you would have set yourself up for an end goal when you're 20 and that's where you quit, you now would feel unsatisfied and unfulfilled, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
does the end goal, is there such thing as an end goal, or is there, you know what, this is where I want to get to, and now this is where I want to get to?
Yeah. That's a great question, Zach. That's a great question. No, there's no end goal. It's just, I mean, where do you stop adding value to people?
Yeah.
Where do you stop? I mean, if it comes to an end, it comes to an end naturally. It's not something that we are planned to do. We plan to move forward, and we plan to even do bigger things as we move forward. But those opportunities will come if you show up, like Ernie said. And that's what the thing. If I want to tell anybody out there, when you're working toward a particular goal, or you're working toward a particular phase in your life, the most important thing is to be consistent and persistent. When we started doing the radio show, we had a lot of decisions to make. We've never had made these decisions before. We had to pick voiceovers. We had to pick music. We had to pick time slots. We had to pick, and there was a lot of staying up late at night. And when we were writing, there's also the branding of the show. How do you brand this thing? I mean, that's a big piece, branding your show and making it that people can see it and go to it and know where it's at. So all of those things we did on our own at the very beginning. I wrote a lot of scripts. Ernie did a lot of work on, she's fabulous at technology, and she did a lot of work on the graphics of the show and how to put things together. And then we enlisted a little bit of help from her sister to help us, and she developed into a major force on the show now. She does all of our media, so she's our
Mhm.
VA and does everything, and she's just amazing. I don't have to write scripts much anymore. They pretty much write themselves. Uh, Ernie doesn't have to do any of the graphic work anymore, but all this is developed over a period of 24 months or so. It's not something that's happened immediately. We had to do everything. We had to work late at night and get up and do our jobs early in the morning. And it was something that we did, and we stayed very consistent at it. Ernie and I remember there's a few times, I'm 2 hours ahead of Ernie. She's in California, I'm in Texas. And I remember her working at 10:30, 11:30 at night. I'm pushing 12:30 and 1:30 in the morning, and I got to get up 5 o'clock to go to work. So, but it was all for a dream. And we didn't know what it meant. We just know that we felt called to do it because it's not about us. It's something much greater than us. And
Mm.
today, we're in over 40 countries internationally. And so it has just grown to that point. And we're only 24 months in. I don't know where we're going to be in the next, 2 years. It's just going to be amazing. There's a lot of opportunities coming up, a lot of different things that's happening. We're getting, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, Zach, except that when you follow a specific flow in your life, opportunities happen.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
meet people, you talk to people, certain things take place, and it just starts to come together one piece at a time. Like Ernie said, one step at a time.
Ernie, what is a good show?
Mhm. It's up to you what a good show is, in my own opinion. I love that you asked that question, Zach, because when we were making a decision as to what the leader's edge would look like, the first thought that came to mind was it has to be professional, it has to be perfect, everything, all our ducks has to be in a row. That was the first mindset.
Mhm.
But Steve and I had a serious conversation maybe 2 days before the show, before our very first show. And I said, do we really want this show to be perfect? The end of that conversation is we wanted the show to be raw, honest, and authentic. Hence, we're able to share our faith. We're able to share traumatic experiences. We're able to bring people who has traumatic experiences. We're able to show our personality even. When you listen to our show, you can tell Steve and Ernie who
Yeah,
Steve is and who Ernie is. So
yeah.
for us, a good show is something that you can relate to, something where the hosts are not tense and not trying to be trying to strive to be in a pedestal. We're more so of individuals who people can relate to. And the idea is if someone's going to listen to the show and learn something, it would be if they can do it, I can do it too.
What is, Ernie, what is life outside of the show? Who is Ernie outside of the show? What do you do?
Who is Ernie outside of the show? Who is Ernie not outside of the show? I think is the question. So as we touched on earlier, Steve and I are Maxwell Leadership members. So what that means is we're certified speakers, coach, trainers, and facilitators. But outside of that, Ernie is a creative individual. I am left-handed, so I use my right brain to create. Create meaning, writing poems, designing or painting, and also loving the outdoors. Beach is my go-to, which I just celebrated my birthday, so that's where we went. I work in healthcare, transitioning out now, but also pursuing the helping others. It's a common goal, helping others. May that be in speaking, may that be in healthcare, or just helping an individual which in which journey they are on in their lives.
Steve?
Yeah. Well, Steve's a grandpa. He's got three grandsons I love to spend time with. Those boys are my tribe, and they make my life so enjoyable. I also uh, am transitioning out as well and moving into another space in my life, and it's been pretty incredible, pretty exciting, but yet a little scary at the same time, right?
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
Uh, so it is. It's all about movement for me right now. I mean, I'm a little bit older than Ernie, and my life is moving and changing. And I'm also a keynote speaker. Just finished up a couple of gigs in California with Ernie, and it was a blast. We had a great time together, and I was able to be there for her birthday, and it was really, really cool. And we went to the beach with our team and a lot of our friends. It was a really, really nice thing. And so, outside of the radio show, we both are keynote speakers. We love to do workshops. We love to do corporate or faith-based. It doesn't matter what for me. It doesn't matter where we're at. Before I walked in here, I was at a networking event. Before I just got on the show here, making contact with people. So that's who we are outside of the radio show. Our faith plays a big part of our lives. I'll
Yes.
just be
Yep.
straight up
Mhm.
honest here. It does. We're not afraid to share that, not afraid to teach about that. It plays a big part of our lives because without the faith that I have in my life would be a wreck. And
Yeah.
I know that's huge. So that's who I am as well. And and I love my partner. She's awesome. She rocks, and we have a great time working together. One of the cool things I want to tell about Ernie said a minute ago, there's no competition between us. Zero
Oh.
competition. No competition at all. We don't try to up one each other or anything like that. We have and it's really a God-given thing. We just have a really, really great relationship to where we've had obviously we have different opinions about things, but
Yeah.
it is just a relationship that is so blended and just so in my opinion, perfect. And you can't get really perfect, but it's just so blended. And the thing about it is we're in the same flow. We're in the same stream. We work together that way, and we have the same kind of faith. So it makes a big difference, you know?
Yeah, I think that one of the things I really appreciated about being a guest on your show was that you two did, in expanding on what you just said, you two did work really well off each other to where one would ask a question, and if I did not give the answer that you were really that if I was answering a question that you need a little more information on, the other one could step in and redirect the question to where I could help explain. And I think that's so important. If you've got somebody that's, that's the reason why I love having co-hosts at times, because
Mm-hmm.
nobody can think of every question, and there's always going to be people out there. It's
Yeah.
really one of the reasons why I don't script my shows. I want to make sure that I can play off the cuff, and we can expand this. I got two more questions for each of you, and then I'll let you escape from my little dungeon here. But we just
What? That's
happened.
it? That's all you got, Zach? Come
Oh,
on.
no, no, we could go forever. I love you guys. So I truly do. I mean, like I said, your guys' show was one of the highlights of my year. It really was
Mm.
That's so
being on
kind
your
of you,
show.
Zach.
So
Thank you.
but we are this show is going to appear just 2 weeks prior to my 11th year anniversary of my motorcycle accident.
Right.
Okay.
Mm.
August 14th is the day that I went down. So, what was that moment in life? And Ernie, I'll ask you first. What was that moment in your life that gave you direction? Because we've all got that moment in life that said, you know what? I'm done doing this. I'm going here. What was that moment in your life?
Ooh, I didn't think I would be crying on this show. I will try to make it short. So the moment in my life is, I believe it's cumulative stories, traumas, and events that occurred. But when you grew up in a third world country, we don't have time to process and stop and reflect on scenarios that occurred. So I believe what my body did is it created a black hole, metaphorically. So I had this feeling of a black hole in my chest. And that feeling of it eating me alive was the biggest fear. So I even went to a professional doctor to be checked out and see if there's anything wrong with me. And the doctor was like, I don't know what you're doing here. You're completely healthy. You are very young. I don't know why you go to the doctor for this. But inside, it's like a void that I couldn't fill. That's how it felt. So I dove into holistic healing. But it's not until I hired a coach to actually find out what's wrong with me, because obviously physically there's nothing wrong, but emotionally and mentally there's a lot of things that was wrong. And from that moment, it's a 2-month course with her, and I've learned that the reason why I was experiencing that black hole was because I was not fulfilling the life I'm supposed to live.
That's a great answer. And I will, out of my own experience, um, I don't believe if you're mentally healthy, I don't believe you can be physically healthy. Because if you are
You're right.
mentally struggling, you are hurting.
Yes,
Physically,
Yeah,
emotionally, you are hurting. You have to
definitely.
be completely healthy to be healthy. So,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Steve, what is
Yeah.
yours?
Wow. I'm still growing, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm still working through things even today, in the process of, of things that I've gone through, traumas that I've worked through, and I'm still growing today. But I think really what set it off for me was when I was younger. Um, I was in ministry for 25 years before I went into any kind of corporate work. And I've been in the corporate world for not 23 years, I guess now. And when I was 27, so many years old. I can't even remember, 25, 26 years old. I was a youth pastor and I was on my way to youth camp with about 46 kids that were juniors and seniors. And we were on our way from Texas to Colorado to go to youth camp. And we had a bus accident. And the bus flipped on its side and slid down a mountainside. And it caught fire. And so it was a moment in time for me where time stood still. When the day was over, it felt like I had gone from 8 o'clock in the morning to 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and it was only 10:30 when I realized what time it was. It felt like time stood still. It was crazy. And so I I was in this bus accident. Got a lot of kids, a lot of kids were in it, 46 kids. Fortunately, God bless, no one was killed. But it was a traumatic situation I went through, and I knew at that moment that God had a special plan for my life. I didn't know what it was, and I don't know. At that time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was going through, why I was going through this. I was only 26 years old. I was a young man. I couldn't deal with this. This was something I didn't plan for, and it was a very traumatic situation when I went through, especially when I went on fire, because not only did it catch fire, but there's people left inside that I had to get out. So I had to risk my life to go in and get people when it was on fire, and it was very traumatic, very, and I often get said, it often gets told, well, gosh, Steve, you're a hero. You saved people. Wasn't a hero, Zach. I was the bus driver, and it changed my life. It changed my entire life. And I've never been the same since then. And it's given me purpose. The purpose is now to know that to add value to people, and I have to move forward in my life. And there's been other things that's taken place in my life. Even up to this day, God is putting me in places where he's saying, okay, I'm going to prune you some more. I'm going to help you some more. We're going to work through some more stuff. We're going to continue to add value to people. And this show and radio and having Ernie in my life has made all the difference in the world to give me that purpose to fulfill.
One of the most beautiful things I've heard from one of the worst tragedies I've ever been a part of, the floods that Texas just recently went through. The supervisor for the bus company walked up to the bus drivers or in a meeting, and he said, I am outlining something right now. You are no longer just a bus driver, because you put your life, your safety ahead of everything else to try to rescue people. And that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, heard. And it, like I said, in this time of, diversity, in this time of separation, there's so much going on that you can see that the good is still there.
Yeah.
You can see that as human beings, we are still good, and we just need to make sure that we grab a hold of that person and ride that wave, because it's crazy if we don't. One last question, Steve. I need you to do me a favor and try to think of somebody who's doing good outside of your sphere, who's doing good, so we can give somebody a shout out and ask give them a little bit of publicity, a nonprofit, somebody in your community who's doing great things to help other people.
Yeah, this is it's not really outside our sphere, but we do have two nonprofits that we work with that I absolutely am excited about. And that's our Christmas for the Natives, that with the Filipino children, and also Peace for Warriors, which are veterans who are PTSD. And these these children are need so much. And Ernie and I are able to give to those children and help those children. And also, not only that, but Peace for Warriors is amazing. They actually come into the go to the Philippines with us, and they actually help build the schools, and they help repair schools issues, maybe walls or roofs or anything that's leaking or anything anything, they come in and help us do that. We're actually going to be building a bridge for our young children to cross over. That's a river. Now it's not a bridge that you would see as cement, concrete, steel bridge. It's made actually out of wood, and they're going to help build that bridge for those children. So those are the kind of things that people are doing things outside of us are still part of us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes complete and total sense. Look, not everything has to be made out of steel, as long as it's made from the heart.
Right.
Ernie?
That's right.
Uh, should I say something different? It's the same thing. I
It's the
obviously
same
I
thing.
am part of the Christmas for the Natives and Peaceful Warriors to enhance that. It's the Christmas for the Natives is basically a day for kids to be kids. We
Mhm.
serve Native Filipinos who live up in the mountains away from civilizations. So what we do is we bring them a day wherein they don't have to worry about what food to eat. We're not worry about having to work with their parents in the fields. It's more so of a day to be a kid, play games, have
Boys.
a little bit of food to bring home, toys, school supplies. So that's what Christmas for the Natives is about. And it's done every year. The Peaceful Warriors has been there to support the whole journey. They come with us, hike 3 hours one way and back. Um, that's a total of 6 hours just to find the village and see what they
Hmm.
need, find out what help we can give them, like build school or like what Steve said, the bridge. Another organization that comes to mind is the Uplift All Foundation. The
Yes,
Uplift All Foundation
yes,
has been
yes.
a big um,
Support to the radio
part
show. Yeah.
part and support of to the radio show. What they do is they serve the homeless and less fortunate community.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's beautiful that the founder herself, like you said, Zach, there's individuals out there that still has a good heart, right? The founder, I admire her so dearly because she's made, she can live life, uh, but she chooses to be on the streets with these homeless individuals, provide showers, laundry, um, find a job for them. So these are the things that they do for the community, even though they don't have to.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's wonderful. That's what we need. We just need
Hmm.
people to do that. So, Steve, where can you be heard?
Well, right here at the Leader's Edge, you can hear me every week. And also, we can be heard on our webinar, which is every 2 weeks, Your Path to Personal Leadership Growth with Steve and Ernie. That's what we mainly do. I do some keynotes and I do some coaching as well. And they can get me at growthandleadership at gmail.com.
Ernie, how do people get a hold of you if they'd like to talk to you?
Same thing. Obviously, we do have our show, The Leader's Edge, and the webinar is Path to Your Personal and Leadership Growth with Steve and Ernie. Well, we're mostly on all social media, so you can just
Hmm.
look us up, The Leader's Edge, or Confidently You with Ernie.
Yeah. Can I
Well,
can I have
yeah,
one more shout out for Ernie?
please,
Ernie
please.
Ernie just wrote her book. I'm so proud of her. Unapologetically you. I throw that out there. She won't do it herself, but I'll throw that out there. She just wrote her book. She got it published. She's doing amazing work with it. And I absolutely love it. I was very fortunate. She let me have the draft copy to read before it was ever published. And
Yeah,
my heart was filled with warmth when she did that. And it's an amazing book. If you haven't, any of your guests have, you can get it on Amazon.com. It's Unapologetically You by Ernie. Is it Ernalita or is it Ernie DeCumos?
Ernalita de Cumos.
Ernalita DeCumos. Go get it. You'll love it. It'll change your life.
That sounds wonderful. So, we do a thing in December that we started last year that maybe we can talk about. teaming up and trying to get books into your program for the Christmas time. Maybe that's something we can team up to do. So I'll talk to you guys off air about that.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm not going to do is travel that 6 miles. This is not a body that was built by
6 hours.
exercise.
6 hours,
Oh,
Zach.
six.
Not
Yeah.
6 months.
No,
Uphill,
no.
Zach. Uphill.
Yeah, no,
Oh
no, no, no,
dear.
no, no. You know what? Maybe when we get uphill, once you guys put in an escalator and I can
There you
ride
go.
uphill, I can
Yeah.
roll down. But yeah, this is not a body built by exercise. I'm sorry about that.
No.
So I want to thank both of you guys, both of you so much for joining us here on Community Impact. Um, as as I stated before, I appreciate you. I appreciate
Mm.
your
Thank you.
openness, and I appreciate your show and everything that you guys go through and what you do. And I just wish and hope that you continue this and people see the light that you are bringing that sometimes can help brighten up this darker world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
but
If
Well, thank you, Zach. We appreciate that.
actually, if I can interject, so I've been called to say this since earlier. There are good things around and there's also bad things. I wanted to recognize that. But it is up to us to make the decision if we want to focus on the good things or the bad things. Because to be honest with you, with how we are perceiving the world right now, there are good things that are happening on the back end as well. So you have the choice to focus on the good things in which Zach, Steve, and I are focusing on, or you
Absolutely.
can choose to focus on the bad things, which unfortunately is not beneficial to any.
No, beautifully said, Ernie.
there's an old sports analogy that goes, you are never as good as your best days, and you're never as
Mm-hmm.
bad as your worst
As your
days.
worst. That's
And I
right.
think
Yes.
that's a perfect statement for that. It's never
Mm-hmm.
as good as your best day. You're never as bad as your worst day. So,
Mm-hmm.
even it out, and you can be you. And if you're you, you're great. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to thank you two again. Thank you so very much. And will you join me again sometime?
Oh, please. That'd be awesome.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, and you two are going to be part of the 22-hour podcast coming up. We were going
Yep.
to
Yes.
do
Yes.
something to get you guys as
Yep.
part of the 22 hours coming up in February. So I look forward
And
to
I,
that.
Yes.
I think we got you somewhere on the webinar thing coming up, Zach. I'm not sure exactly when, but I think we got you coming up
Yes.
on the webinar.
Well, that sounds great. That sounds
Yep.
awesome. I'm looking forward to that. So, all right. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Zach.
Zach.
I really do have a lot of fun with those two. I think that they're so bright, they're so brilliant. Um, there's so much information that could be found when you listen to them. I like the contrast, and we've been looking to pull the trigger on a show like that as well. You know, something that we can put together, that there are two different individuals that you can hear different sides. I love having shows with people who are younger than I am, and as the years pass, that's easy to find. But I like to be able to show the contrast. I like to be able to show that things can still happen when you work together. And Ernie and Steve are a perfect example of that. Once again, we are not live tonight. It's my anniversary with my beautiful wife, Adrian. We are, yeah, right now we're just about ready to head out for dinner. So please make sure that you join me live next week, where you can join us on the show. You can go on ahead and come on and talk to me about whatever the topic is. So, let's see. I'm trying to find the correct thing here. Here we go. This will be for next week. You'll be able to take in and join us live and come on and make a comment. We are going to start doing some things to where there's going to be a little bit of an edge to them. We're going to be talking about things that we need to discuss. Again, I am going to have a very, very happy dump button finger. If you want to come on and act like an adult, I am going to love your opinion. If you're going to come on and you're going to cause problems, I'm going to get rid of you. We're not doing this. We are going to talk about things that are controversial. We're going to talk about things that matter. But I'm not going to put up with BS. Okay? I mean, we're not going to talk about arguing. If we bring on somebody who's talking about religion, we're going to hear them out. We're going to hear out what they say. I'm going to ask questions. If we talk about politics, we're going to hear about what they have to say. I'm not going to disagree with them. I'm not going to agree with them. I will ask people to come with proof. But we need to come up with something, folks. We got to come up with some way that we can make this better for everyone, because right now what we've got's just not working. What is working is my partnership with my buddy Alan Holmes, the Master Connectors Corner. And today he has such a bright and beautiful guest. They have a wonderful, wonderful show. Her internet cuts out a couple of times, but you know what? It's still a a really, really good show. She still brings a lot of attention to a lot of people, and on how she can help you market all the hard work that you've done. Say goodbye to just clicking and picking. The future of giving begins now with the new Come Together movement. Download our free community Pay It Forward app. It's your gateway to shopping with purpose and supporting the causes that you care about. You tell us who you'd like to support by selecting your mission. Whether it's helping veterans, feeding families, or supporting local schools, your purchases help fund real change. Shop like you normally do. No extra steps, no added costs. Just make your everyday spending count by choosing one of our partner businesses. Every purchase you make turns into real support. A percentage goes directly to your selected cause. It's automatic, it's effortless, and it's powerful. You're not just a customer, you're a partner in making a difference. Our app makes it easy for you to track your impact and share it with all of your friends. So why just shop when you can shop with a purpose? Download, select, shop, and support because your choices matter. When you shop with the Community Pay It Forward partners, no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. This is Alan Holmes, and welcome to Master Connectors Corners. Happy summertime to you, wherever you may be. Hopefully, it's summertime. But anyway, joking around, it's not about me, it's about we. Today, as always, we'd like to first of all begin by saying thank you for our sponsors and our incredible Zak Clayton and Community Pay It Forward. Without him, we wouldn't be possible. Uh, with that said, today is a amazing day because we're gonna, as always, we're gonna bring together to the stage a young lady that I had the honor and privilege of meeting recently. Her name is Patricia. Now, Patricia is a marketing maven, and Patricia hails out of the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia area, and she's not just marketing maven, but is someone who is just a just an incredible person who believes in being more than a marketing maven, but just a marketing powerhouse that is branding in others. Well, before I kind of butchered anymore, let me bring to the stage Patricia, who is a a beautiful beacon of light. Patricia, welcome to the market to the Master Connectors Corner. It's not just about to me; it's about we. And for you, it's all about you today because today
Oh,
you are going to enlighten us with some and various resources beyond marketing. For example, I heard you did a little bit of the helping with the soup kitchen in the community, kind of following our tagline here within the community of helping others. Welcome to the family, young lady.
thank you so much for having me this morning.
Okay, tell us a little bit about marketing maven and financial solutions. You go beyond that. You go through the digital branding. Let's start by beginning. How did you come to that? How did you come to the journey of what you're doing, and how did you come about digital and branding and marketing? Because there's a lot about there, but what separates you
Mhm.
apart?
Gosh, I guess when I started off at 15 years old, I got into the customer service aspect of it and kind of stayed within that branch and just kind of noticed what businesses were needing and what they were kind of lacking. And I come from an era where customer service and marketing kind of goes in tandem, hand in hand together. And I fell in love with it and just kind of stuck with it and perfected my profession. And now I'm out here helping businesses not only market correctly, but set their companies up correctly so they are actually able to get funded a lot faster as well too. So that's some of the things that we do in a nutshell.
Okay, and can you little maybe expand a little bit when uh, you work with a individual who's looking to brand themselves?
Mhm.
How do you kind of differentiate? Because I know you have a branding part of it, and you have also the financial solutions part of it. What can you explain a little
Correct.
more? Yeah.
It starts off basically with just a conversation, trying to understand where the person is right now with establishing the company. You know, I deal with a lot of individuals that are first timers. So it's me kind of just understanding where they are with the setting up of their company and finding out what they're actually needing. What is it? And then once we find that out,
You're back, Patricia. Uh oh.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can.
yeah, we can. I can. Uh-oh.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry
No
about that.
problem.
No
No problem.
problem.
Okay, so once I kind of ascertain what they're marketing, then we kind of strategize as to what is needed to market their product, and then we kind of
Oh,
take it from there.
Hey,
okay.
Patricia, I got a real quick question for you, and I think it's a
Sure.
question that a lot of people have misconceptions over.
Mhm.
What's the difference between marketing and branding?
Well, marketing and branding are kind of the same thing. It's branding. You're taking a product, and that's you're putting it out there. Everything is about that product, and then the marketing is the engine that actually pushes that product. So marketing could be, well, how am I going to push this brand? Let's say that you're the brand. How am I going to push Zach? And then what tools am I going to use to push you? So marketing is the tools, but the branding is what it is that you're marketing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All
But
right.
they go hand in hand, basically.
All right. And now, when it comes to the person's brand, or and you say is marketing, it goes hand in hand. Um, can you explain a little bit more about when someone who maybe doesn't have a business, but they're in the nonprofit space? Because within the community paid forward platform, we Zach works with a lot of nonprofits, and
Mhm.
does the superior marketing and leaders and integrity, or let's get it right, superior marketing leads and integral. Do you work
Uh-huh.
with a lot of nonprofits? And if so, how do
Yes.
you work with?
I actually sit on a board at a non-market I'm sorry, a non-for-profit as well too. So when you're working with them, it's about understanding what kind of programs they have and what they're looking to do. Um, and then taking that and marketing it out to the audience. You've got to know what type of audience is needed for the non-for-profit.
Okay. All right. And speaking of the indie community, I understand that you have worked in the past with a lot of soup kitchens and or individuals with helping the passing of the food. Can you a little bit tell the audience about your personal side? Just a little
Okay,
bit.
say that again for me, because I was getting some feedback.
Oh, I'm saying that. Can you share with the audience a little bit about the personal side of yourself when it comes to the working with the soup kitchens in the past? You've worked with some of the communities, as we're all say here at the community paid forward. We're really about helping the community inside beyond the business. Can you kind of touch base on a little bit how you help within the community itself? Of
Oh,
maybe like the
definitely.
soup kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it wasn't kitchens actually. My
Okay.
father was a pastor. He was a pastor for years. So we would actually put together food and take it out to the homeless. Um, and if we worked in a soup kitchen, it would be us working like for Thanksgiving or Christmas, or sometimes going down there on the weekends, or whatnot. But we had a pantry at the church, and so our pantry was opened. I would say it was open on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then you could still give us a call and say, hey, look, we're in need of some stuff. And we would mobilize our team and get them together. And whatever needs you had, we would try to facilitate in getting some help to you. But it just wasn't, geared towards the soup kitchen. It was kind of doing it all together, if that
Un-
makes any sense.
understood. Understood. I'm glad you clarified that. And
I think I may
so
have lost you guys again.
can you hear me? Oh, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello. Ah. Uh-oh. She's gone again.
Yeah,
Patricia?
we're having a little bit of the problem with the cell phone, Patricia's cell phone. She's going to be back on hopefully here in just a couple minutes, but and here she is again. So,
There we go.
um,
Sorry about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Hey, Patricia, what did you learn from your father when it came to supporting other people? What did that instill in you, and why is it so important for you to continue to do this?
Jeez, just understanding what the community needs and understanding that we're all just like a paycheck away from, having those some of those same issues as the homeless may have. And so just empathy is the biggest thing that I see that is missing here for a lot of people, and understanding the plight. My father just I watched him work in the community, and just giving makes you feel awesome. There's an awesomeness about giving to others. And that's what I'm into. I want to give back to the community and work with the community and help take some of the pain away, because there's a lot of pain in the world today, and if we can just work together and come together, I think that we can do a lot in helping.
Wow. Wow. That,
My father was really big about helping. That's what I remember. My mother and my dad helping. And I remember we used to go and visit, the nursing homes, and just watching somebody else have a smile on their face just from your presence. It just does a lot. It does a lot to everybody.
wow. That's absolutely incredible. That really brings home a lot of what makes you different. And I love that. That's why we asked about the personal side of the story. So thank you, Patricia. And as you know, as we like you say, we at the Master Connections Corner always like to give it like a little slice of information. Don't want to take too much of your time here, but thank you
No
before for
worries.
showing up today and being a part of us. Before we leave, we definitely have to get you have a little bit about if you want to go ahead, and we'll definitely have it part of the the listening audience or those who are on the recording side. But you want to give a little bit of the best way to get a hold of you, your website or the social media. What is the best way to get a hold of you and
Mhm.
how to get started?
Uh, the best way to get a hold of me is by our telephone number, which is 800-494-1983, and I'm at extension 801. You could also check out our websites, www.superiormarketing-leads.com, as well as www.integro-services.com.
Okay, absolutely. All right, absolutely. And again, thank you so much for connecting with us in here today. Um, and before we go, I would just want to ask, and should have asked this in the beginning, but what is one of the reasons that a person or a business or organization would work with you versus trying it on their own? Because marketing is a
Um,
lot.
it's very marketing is very intentional, and so if you can certainly do marketing by yourself, but there's nuances that goes with marketing. So if you don't understand the nuances, you're not going to be able to reach the people or the masses like you should or like you want to. So it's always better to deal with a professional, because at that point you guys can strategize together, talk about what your needs are, and then come with a plan that's executable. A lot of times when you try to do it yourself and it doesn't work the first time, you get frustrated and then you stop. But if you're working with someone that knows what's going on and how to make things happen, then you kind of sit back and I'm a teacher, so I'll walk you through what I'm doing so you understand it. So when I'm long gone, you still can duplicate what I've showed you. Um, but at least, when you're dealing with a professional, they can get it done a lot faster, and you can see results a lot quicker.
Well, Patricia, I've just got one more question for you. And again, as Alan said, I appreciate you coming on and joining us here. You've
Thank you,
made the
Zach.
show much better. So I don't want you to give away any trade secrets. Okay.
Mhm.
But what is one of the things that a small business owner always makes that mistake that you wish if you could just take them, grab them by the neck and go, stop making that mistake? What would it be?
Oh, good question. Uh, Marketing to the
I
wrong
only
people,
ask
not
easy
understanding your
questions.
right.
I
Not understanding your audience. That's the biggest thing. Not understanding the audience. You have to know who you're marketing to. And a lot of times you market to the masses, but your product is not speaking to the masses.
Wow, wow, what that was definitely a mic drop, and that's
Yep.
why I am so honored to have my we call it I call him my co-pilot, but he's a pilot of the show with Zak Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, and you help as always add to the flavor of supporting Master Connect this corner and the Community Pay It Forward and nonprofits, and there's as a bonus question, the veterans. This is an incredible community that a lot of people um, are aware of, but we want to continue to put it out there. Actually, two communities. Well, let's say the top three within the Master Connections community is the veterans, the disability community, and of course, you touched on nonprofits. How do you have any help with the veterans and or the disability community?
Just again, I would need to, because everybody's situation is different. Let me just say that. And so that's why it's so important having a conversation, and finding out exactly what the needs are. Because when you deal with grants, let's look at that for just a brief second. Um, I get grants that come in from the federal side all the way down to the local. So depending on what the veterans are needing, or some of the disability clients need, I can find grants pertaining to their needs. So it's about having that conversation. It really starts with the conversation, and there's stuff out there for everybody. You just have to know where to go and where to get it, and that's what we do, is we research and try to find what is needed.
Wow, and that's the bonus what we're referring to is we talked about marketing and branding, and had this slide in there, the grant writing that you help with so far. And once again, why different and Patricia, believe me, forgive me, we said Patricia, but we want to know that you're Patricia Freeman, correct? Is that that?
Patricia, the last name,
Yeah,
Alan. You're looking for the last name, Patricia Jenkins.
Jenkins. And where did I get Freeman from? Well,
Jenkins.
my
You
mom.
know what? I have no idea.
This is what happens when you get up
Only
on.
you, my friend. Only you.
Oh my goodness, Patricia Jenkins, as a family, we have to. They say family got to take care of family, and that's what you've been part
That's
of.
it.
Even though I'm calling you out of your name, we are in the name within it. See, this is why I say it's not about me; it's about we. Because Alan hosts a cleanup on a regular basis. You never know what you're going to get. Patricia Jenkins, welcome to the
That's
family
okay.
of Community Pay It Forward, and welcome to the Master Connectors Corner. And thank you for stopping by. Any other
No
final
problem. Thank you for having.
uh, any other final golden nuggets you want to drop? You want to share with us?
Yes, don't give up. If you have a dream, and you're trying to get your stuff off the ground, don't give up, because there are people like Alan, Zach, myself, that are willing to assist and help you, and and see you become successful. So don't give up. You're never too old to dream, as well, because we're getting into our um golden years, I guess we can say that. But just don't ever give up. Don't ever give up.
All right. Well, on behalf of the Mass Connectors Corner and the community pay for supporting us on the way, and those around the world, thank you, Patricia, for joining us today. And
No
for those,
problem.
make sure those who are listening, please reach out to Patricia Jenkins.
Yeah.
And we definitely have incredible. She has some golden nuggets for you. Zach is hanging out
Yeah,
in the back out
definitely.
there somewhere, and thank you, Zach, for having all of us for supporting us in community pay it forward and the Master Connect is going. Until next time, thank you so much. We love you and honor you.
Your business is your American dream, but today opening your doors comes with tough questions. Will customers walk in? Can I stock the shelves with what they need? Can I afford salaries? And how do I compete with the big box store down the road? That is exactly why we created Community Pay It Forward. Because in hard times, we need stronger communities led by people with bigger hearts. Our Shop, Click, and Pick program makes it simple. Every purchase at a participating small business supports a cause you care about. You shop, others thrive. Even when money is tight, you can still make a huge difference. You're not just shopping, you're supporting families, nonprofits, and your neighbors. That's the power of community. That's the power of the Community Pay It Forward family. When you join the Community Pay It Forward family, you will be seen, you will be remembered, and you will be a hero for people in need everywhere. You, your business, and Community Pay It Forward. Because no one needs to go it alone. When we all. I think the best thing about what Patricia said was the last thing that she left us with. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. And I think that's the uh words of wisdom that we need to live by in every aspect of our life. Just don't give up. Don't give up on things, folks. Look, it's not worth giving up on anything right now. It's not worth giving up on your family because you don't see eye to eye on something. Again, one person in your family likes cranberries and you might not. You're not going to split a family over it. If you get what I'm saying here. And if you don't let politics or religious talk or any of this other crap ruin a family. Nothing, nothing has lasted forever. Nothing. Okay? But family's going to be here a hell of a lot longer than any of these other problems that we've got right now. Family means a hell of a lot more than any of these other problems we've got right now. Just never give up. I want to thank Ernie. I want to thank Steve. I want to thank Patricia. And I want to thank my buddy, my little buddy, Alan, and even his wife, who made a very, very brief appearance in that podcast. I also want to take a real quick minute, and I did this on Monday, but I want to do it again. I want to wish my mom a very happy birthday. It was her birthday on Sunday. I want to wish my baby boy 24. I'm not old enough to have a 24-year-old kid. And I got one that's 33 too, but we're not going to go there. No, 31. Sorry. Anyway, his 24th birthday was on Monday. And again, to my wife, I love you. Baby, let's have some fun. Hopefully, we are already eating wherever we're at. I recorded this and I'm already hungry. So hopefully we'll be somewhere good to eat. Maybe we'll get like the best seated Arby's. Because when I date like that. That's right, women, you all missed out. Anyway, folks, please remember to love someone out there because someone out here loves you. Look, if you're not doing something to help others, you're hurting everyone. So please make sure that every moment of your life is dedicated to improving your lives by helping someone else along the way. If we help each other, if we take the time to be there for others, no one needs to go alone. All we have to do is come together. If you've got extra food, if you made a little bit too much food, you know you're not going to eat it. You know it's just going to go bad and you're going to throw it down the damn garbage disposal. Throw it in the old hillbilly Tupperware, zap it in the microwave, give it to somebody in the community who may be shut in, may be standing on a street corner. They're there for a reason. Don't worry about the reason. Make sure that they're doing good. If you got an old hoodie in your car or in your closet, don't give it to a thrift store. Don't give it away in a yard sale. Put it in that car. Make sure you give it to somebody who's out there struggling with the elements. We need to come together. We need to do this now. Here to support each other. Let's get this done. Please help support us by volunteering, donating, whatever you can do. Use the QR code in the corner. Every donation helps. Every donation will be rewarded. See communitypayitforward.us for all the rewards. One other thing, and I needed to get this in here real quick before we go. We are searching for people who run programs that assist people for free or at a very, very affordable rate. And when I say affordable rate, I want to make sure that people understand this is stuff that they can get grants for. This is stuff that is going to help people in severe need, even if it's just a free first session, free consultation, whatever. But it's got to be free. It's got to be available to help people out, whether that's helping people with rent assistance or groceries, food, mental health support, no matter what it is, please contact us because we're putting together a database that is going to be connect people, that's going to be able to connect people no matter where they are to the help that they need. We want to have it to where we're working with a couple other wonderful organizations, and we want to make it to where no matter what people need, we can help them find it. Because if they can't find it right away, they're not going to search. People who are in mental health hell aren't going to call 10 numbers. We need to make sure that it's accessible for them to call one and save their lives. So please, let's help people. If you know anybody who offers free services, send them to me. I would appreciate it. Again, please love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. Let's take care of each other, folks, because you know what? We're all we got. Have a great week. We'll see you on Monday.
Say, bring me home, out alone, you show me the way. You wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear to be a part of Sunset Boulevard.